Alrighty, so as you know by now, my birthday, 59th birthday, was at the end of July. I did a video about the birthday dinner, and I decided to pick myself up a birthday present while I was down south. I've been looking for a PRS, Paul Reed Smith guitar, for a while now, and I figured, well, might as well do it for my birthday. I knew I was going south. Bangkok is a much larger city than Chiang Mai. A lot more selection on Facebook Marketplace of PRS guitars. There's a music collection, which is a big music store here, music collection. There's a small one in the mall here in Chiang Mai. There's a huge one in Bangkok. So I just figured my odds of finding one that I liked were better down in Bangkok. So sure enough, I found a beautiful guitar at a great price. If you're not familiar with PRS, they're core models. They have SEs, CEs, which are bolt-in necks. SEs made in Indonesia now, used to be made in Korea. The S2, which is made in the US in Maryland, but with cheaper parts, compromise. If they sell them cheaper, they got to make them cheaper. And then what they call the core models. And a core, one of the core models, the most famous core model, the original model, made back in '85 by PRS, is the Custom 24. Back in the day, they just called it like a PRS guitar, but it's got 24 frets. It's got a little owl on the 24th fret, so you got a 24 and not a 22 fretter. Also, I count up to the 12 and then count up, but whatever. They're known for their tops. It's a mahogany back, mahogany neck, Indian rosewood fretboard. Back in the day, they were Brazilian rosewood fretboards, and a maple, flame maple, curly maple, usually top. And this is what's called a 10 top. It's unusually beautiful and book matched and heavy grain and all that. And this particular finish is called Red Fireburst. And I chose it because I like the Red Fireburst. One of the things you can tell how a good guitar, a good electric guitar, is if it sounds good unplugged. So you can hear that. And you can hear the sustain, how long that chord lasted. Even though I'm not plugged into an amplifier. And that just means the wood chosen to build the guitar is an extremely good tone wood. Not every wood is a good tone wood. Basswood, poplar, paulownia, it's a cheap wood here, Chinese wood that a lot of kit guitars are made out of, and those aren't especially good tone woods. So Paul Reed Smith is a guy. He used to be a luthier. He had a business in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. Basically, he was based out of in the 70s and 80s, and he would fix guitars for people. And then he came up with the design that he felt was better than the current Gibsons and Fenders. And now, 20-something years later, 30, 40, 50 years later, 85 was the first PRS guitar. So 15, 22, 37 years later, his company, PRS, is the number 3 guitar company right after Gibson and Fender. And they're widely acknowledged to be the best guitars made. They're getting a core, made in the USA, basically, PRS, is really the same as getting a custom shop Fender or a custom shop Gibson. And really, for the last 20 years, even the custom shop Gibsons haven't been all that. They've had a lot of quality issues, and because Paul Reed Smith is actually a guy, the owner of the company, that his name's on every guitar, he takes that seriously. If you watch any videos or interviews with him, on YouTube, he's a workaholic. He built the company from the ground up, which I appreciate. He's an entrepreneur. And his attention to detail, starting in 1985 when there was 20 employees. Now there's, I don't know, 3,000, but everything runs the same. You could go buy a 2022 PRS guitar and it's going to be, spot on, set up, playable right out of the box, great action. If you don't know about PRS, definitely check him out, research it. It's an amazing company. He's an amazing guy. And I just always wanted one of these, and, whatever. It's my birthday. I found a good one that I'm really happy with. I wanted the tremolo. I wanted the 24 frets. It fits into my guitar, assemblage, in that I don't have anything else that's 24 frets. I only have one other whammy bar tremolo guitar, my custom Fender. So, super happy. You heard it resonate there. It's beautiful. It plays great. It's a better guitar than I need, because I just play around on guitar and have fun. So I'm not a gigging musician. I'm not even an intermediate level player. Even after all these years I've been playing, I'm okay if I practice a lot. If I don't practice, I suck. But I didn't care. I've always wanted one. I wanted the core model. I wanted the 24 frets. I wanted the tremolo bar, and the right one was found down south. I shot a video of me picking it up. The lady met me in Bangkok at the Taco Bell at the Westgate Mall. We grabbed some lunch and hopped back in the car with the guitar and the Taco Bell and kept driving, because it was a 14-hour drive. There's a new speed limit in Thailand. They're trying to save gas, so they made the speed limit 100 kilometers an hour instead of 120. So instead of like 75, I don't know, 60, I'd have to do the math, what 100 kilometers an hour is. 120 was 75, 80 is 50. So you can figure that out. 1/4, 50, 62.5 miles per hour is the new speed limit. So I didn't drive as fast as I normally do, 75 and up here. But I made it. I knocked an hour off basically by staying as close to 100 or a little bit over sometimes as possible. I made the trip from Hua Hin to Chiang Mai in 13 hours. And that's stopping also for gas, stopping for dinner, half hour, stopping to pee breaks, all that kind of crap. 13 hours door to door, including stops. So that's it. That's the story of the new acquisition, the PRS. My birthday present to myself. I'm really happy with it. It's a beautiful guitar. Once again, you got the book matched maple. The 5909 pickups, which sound like the PAF pickups Gibson put in the old 1959 Les Pauls. Talking about Paul Reed Smith and what a perfectionist he is. He bought the wire and the machine that Gibson used back in the day to wind pickups. So these 5909s wound in Maryland in his shop, used the same equipment Gibson used way back, years and years and years ago. It's funny that Gibson wouldn't want that stuff, because they're big into recreating their glory days now, because their current guitars suck and they can't sell them. And yet they let that piece of history go, and he's using it to create copies of the PAFs, basically improved copies of the PAFs, which is something Seymour Duncan's been doing for years now. But once again, that's why PRS guitars are, in my opinion, the number one guitar. I think they're better quality, better construction, way better quality control for sure than Gibson and even Fender. Fender's more about economical, making a buck. The Telecaster's a tool like a hammer or a screwdriver more than it's an instrument. And this is an instrument. This goes back to the days of like violins where, the stuff was handcrafted and artisans paid attention to detail. That's what goes into a PRS guitar. And that's why I wanted one. They're special, they're different, they're beautiful, they play great. So that's my birthday present to myself. All right, sitting here in Taco Bell in a Westgate Plaza. Central Festival Westgate, and there comes Sweaty Cop. There comes a guitar. Because if you're looking for a guitar, Taco Bell is the best place to find one. Let's see what we have, shall we? There we go. Ooh, Sway Mock. Look at her look. Sway Mock. Die. It's pretty. It's a pretty one. It's a 2011 PRS Custom 24. Custom 24. Yep. Yeah, it's got the Phase 3 locking tuners on it. First year, 2011. It's in good shape. No nicks or scratches or anything wrong. Flame maple top. Mahogany back. It's got the case candy, and somewhere I'm sure the whammy bar. Yeah, there you go, the original document from the factory, because there are Chinese copies of these things out there, so you got to be careful.